It's me, Joyce back. 안녕하세요, 여러분. 조이스 선생님이 다시 돌아왔습니다. 오늘 조금 늦게 시작했는데 I'm so sorry that we started late today, but there was a reason behind it. So I hope everybody understands. And should we start the lesson for today? As like we did last week, we did the comprehension for last week too. And this week also, we're gonna have our comprehension lesson today. We're gonna do comprehension and then decoding, which is the vocabulary for the vocabulary. And then we're gonna do the decoding section for the whole sentence, as like we did last week. Is it okay? 네. Hello. 조이스 씨의 버스가 늦었어요. Kind of, should I say? Yes, 코아티. Okay, so should we go to the next slide? Yes, this week we're gonna learn about how to make cake. Yeah, we're gonna read about a comprehensive thing on how to make cake in Korean, and then we're gonna go through the vocabs, and then we're gonna decode it overall. Is it okay? I think it sounds fine. Should we start the lesson for today then? Yeah. Before we get into it, we need to talk about your free Hangul writing worksheet. Free Hangul writing worksheet. As you can see here, this is how to get your free Hangul worksheet for yourself, and you can right away click in the link below and get your free Korean Hangul worksheet. Yay, we also got everybody else in. I think these are the contents, right? So you can see the alphabets and all the Hangul, and it's, again, free. Okay? So, should we start the lesson now? Let's go. So, reading comprehension. As we did last week, we're going to do the reading comprehension section first. Let's get through it. Real fast. I think we need to get through the decoding section more than the actual reading section. Okay? 케이크 만들기. I'm going to go through 부드럽게, just in a flow where as if these reading sentences are all in one paragraph where it's like an actual story. So we're going to just go through the flow. 케이크 만들기. 케이크 만들기. 맛있는 호박 케이크를 만들어요. 맛있는 호박 케이크를 만들어요. Okay? You can see I'll add some motions so that you can presume what I'm trying to talk about. So, yeah. Let's just skim through and go through it. 먼저 오븐을 켜요. 먼저 오븐을 켜요. Okay? 호박을 오븐에 40분 동안 굽고 저어요. 호박을 오븐에 40분 동안 굽고 저어요. Okay? 호박을 오븐에 40분 동안 굽고 저어요. Does everybody get what I'm saying? Yes, stoha. That's how you say oven in Korean. Yeah, we call it oven. Yeah. 그러고 나서 양념과 기름과 함께 5분 동안 끓여요. 그러고 나서 양념과 기름과 함께 5분 동안 끓여요. 오케이? 그러고 나서 양념과 기름과 함께 5분 동안 끓여요. 끓여요. Do you get what this means? 끓여요? I presume everybody knows. And even if you don't know, we're going to learn it later on. So 다음으로 그릇에 밀가루를 조금 넣어요. 다음으로 그릇에 밀가루를 조금 넣어요. 오케이? 밀가루를 베이킹소다와 소금과 섞어요. 밀가루를 베이킹소다와 소금과 섞어요. Did everybody get it? So this baking soda pretty sounds like baking soda, right? So baking soda and 소금. So 밀가루를 베이킹 소다와 소금과 섞어요. Okay? Next. 다른 그릇에 계란과 설탕을 조금 넣고 함께 섞어요. Did everybody get it? 다른 그릇에 계란과 설탕을 조금 넣고 함께 섞어요. I think everybody's getting along pretty good. And 코아치, you can't eat. 밀가루 못 먹어요. Oh, then you should make it gluten-free. But we don't have a gluten-free recipe for today, so sorry. Yeah. And Jalan from Facebook, yes, you can understand a little bit from these sentences. I'm glad to hear that, but don't worry, we're gonna get through the decoding section later on. So no worries even if you don't understand the first few sentences for the reading section, okay? So we're gonna get through this 부드럽게, in a good flow, okay? So did everybody get this right? Yes, we'll go to the next one. 이제 밀가루와 호박을 같은 그릇에 넣어요. 이제 밀가루와 호박을 같은 그릇에 넣어요. 이제 밀가루와 호박을 같은 그릇에 넣어요. 모든 것을 함께 섞어요. 모든 것을 함께 섞어요. 다음, next. 원하면 약간의 냉동 과일을 추가해도 돼요. 원하면 약간의 냉동 과일을 추가해도 돼요. 원하면 약간의 냉동 과일을 추가해도 돼요. Did everybody get it? Let's go to the next one. 이제 반죽이 준비됐어요. 이제 반죽이 준비됐어요. 반죽을 60분 동안 구우세요. 이제 반죽을 60분 동안 구우세요. 60분, 60분, 60분. 오케이? 보세요. 이제 케이크가 준비됐어요. 보세요. 이제 케이크가 준비됐어요. 차를 조금 만들고 한 조각을 가져다가 즐겨요. 차를 조금 만들고 한 조각을 가져다가 즐겨요. 한 조각을 가져다가 즐겨요. 차를 조금 만들고 한 조각을 가져다가 즐겨요. Okay, so a bit of a hint. 차, tea. Okay? I think everybody can understand what's going on. Over here. Okay? 다음. Oh, we're done. So now we're having another mid-promotion time for our free Hangul writing worksheet. And again, once again, you can get yours in the link in the description box below. So if you're interested in learning Hangul really deep in like a dissecting way, then you should get your free Hangul worksheet, writing worksheet, right in the link in the description box below. Okay? Is everybody fine? Then we can get back to our lesson, vocabulary. Yay! So we're gonna get through the vocabulary that we just saw in the comprehension section for the sentences that we looked at. And let's start. Yasai, is it really free? Yeah, it is really free. And so you can get yours anytime. Yeah. Let's go through the vocabularies now. 오븐을 켜다. 오븐을 켜다. Also, you can ask me any questions for the vocabs, because later in the decoding section, you'll have to understand what's going on with the sentences so that we can go through the quiz and you can get your quiz all correct. Okay? All right. Okay? Let's go. 오븐을 켜다. 오븐을 켜다. I did this motion where I was trying to like indicate that it's an oven. 오븐을 켜다. And you know, just twist it. Twist the thing. 오븐을 켜다. To turn on an oven. So you're turning on an oven. 오븐을 켜다. 오븐을 켜다. Did everybody get it right? Okay. So next one. 호박. 호박. I think everybody understood that we were talking about pumpkins when we were saying 호박, right? Because I think somebody said, I love pumpkin cakes in the comments. So I think you guys catched it correctly. 호박, 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 pumpkin, pumpkin. It's really a bit different, the pronunciation, but just remember that 호박, 호박 means pumpkin, pumpkin, okay? And then we have 무엇 분, 몇 분, 분. So something minutes. Something minutes. So we had like 40분 and like 30분. So if you want to say 30 minutes, then you should say 30분. So this 분, this word is for counting how many minutes there are. So when you're trying to talk about how many minutes, then you should say 분. Okay? I think everybody has this in their head already. So let's go to the next one. 굽다. 굽다. To bake. To bake. To bake something. 굽다. 케이크를 굽다. For this comprehension section, we can say 케이크를 굽다. I'm baking a cake. 굽다. 굽다. To bake. To bake. Okay? This is a verb that you should know so that you can understand what's going on in maybe cooking TV shows, for Korean cooking TV shows. So you can hear the word 굽다 and then you'll be like, oh, so they're trying to bake something. Okay? Next, we have another verb, 섞다. 섞다. To blend. I think this 섞다 is more of like to mix with your hands, not to like blend, but it can go, maybe it can translate to blend, but mostly not in like the traditional translation way. Yes, we can actually call it to blend if like the machine is like mixing it. So we kind of refer it to like mixing, but if you're like trying to talk about blending, we actually say blender. Even Koreans, we call it blender, like blender, blender에 넣어. Like, yeah. I think this 섞다 has a lot of meanings, but one of them is to blend, and you can use it in different ways too. Yeah, mix, blend, and also other kind of stuff. Emulsify, yeah. So, is everybody okay? Let's go to the next one. Oh, actually, you have a question. 휘젓다 and 섞다 both mean to mix. What is the main difference in usage? 휘젓다 is like, 휘젓다 has a bit more of a nuance where it's a bit more, so when you're doing 섞다, it's more intense, like you're mixing it intensely. And 휘젓다 is a bit like, oh, you're just doing it in a very simple way, like stirring. Yeah, just like you're just mixing it, but without not that like eager intentions or something like that. So you're just stirring, basically. Does that help you understand? But it does mean to mix. Yeah. So you can use it both ways. Don't be too concerned about it. Yeah. Stoha, hi Joyce, you're doing great. Cajun, get well soon. Thank you. Thank you for the donation. I'm so glad we got the donation. And that's my first time I got a donation. But yes, Cajun is doing also really well. And yes, I'm also doing great. So should we get to the lesson back again? Yeah. So, 양념, 양념. Spices, spices. 양념, spices. So we see this word really often when you get to Korean restaurants, especially Korean restaurants that sell chicken. So you're gonna see like 양념치킨, 양념치킨. That actually means like spices? We don't call it spices. Maybe it's just like a sauce. Yeah, we call it sauce. So, sauced. Sauced fried chicken. That's how we call 양념치킨. Yeah. That's how we say, like when we're talking about 양념, we normally say we're talking about the sauce. Oh, 양념 좀 묻혀. Like, 양념 좀 더 넣어. 양념 좀 더 넣어, then it's gonna be like, oh, put some more sauce in. Like, get some sauce. Like, put some more sauce in to the mixture. Like, something like that. Yeah. So, you can actually think about 양념 as sauce more than spices. Spices also works, but it's more of like spices in a liquefied way. So, 양념. 양념. Yeah. Next, 기름. 기름. Oil. Oil. 기름. Oil. This is a basic word. So I hope everybody understands this word pretty well. 기름. Oil. 기름. Oil. Oil. Yeah. There's no other meaning for this. Oil is the only translation, only correct definition for this word. So, yes. Next, we have 끓이다. 끓이다. This is also a very basic verb that we have. Oh, wait, we have a question from the one before. Ocean wave cooking oil is different? No. We call it 기름 normally. But if you want to make it into a fancy way, you can also say 식용유. 식용유 for cooking oil. But we just call it 기름. Like also, oh my god, you have so much oil on your face like me. Like then you can say, 기름이 왜 이렇게 많아? 얼굴에 기름이 많다. You have a lot of oil on your face. We also call it 기름. So normally we just call it 기름. But if you want to say cooking oil in a very fancy way, not in a fancy way, but a bit more professionally, then you should say like 식용유. 식용유. And also like when you're shopping for cooking oil, then you also like try to tell the person, the staff in the market, 요리용 기름? Yeah, like Sumi said, 요리용 기름. Or you can say 식용유. But you can just say 기름 in general, and they'll understand. So no problem. Next, we're gonna go to the verb 끓이다. 끓이다. Be careful for the pronunciation for this word because we have 끓 and then 리을 and 히 in one place. That might be kind of confusing, but just I wanted to tell you that 끓이다, just pronounce it in this way where it's like, oh my, 끓이다. Like you can just say it this way and everybody will understand. So when you see this verb 끓이다, then just pronounce it this way because this is the correct pronunciation. So don't try to like pronounce 끓이다 in like 끓이다 because that's wrong. So just call it 끓이다 because this is the right pronunciation for 끓이다. Okay? 끓이다 means to boil. To boil. So that's why I had this hand motion where I was like, to boil. 끓이다. You know, it's like the water bubble, like the bubbles boiling up when like the water is boiling. 끓이다. Okay? Next, we have 밀가루. 밀가루. And it's flour. Flour. Okay, we got another question for 기름. Yasae, 기름 is cooking oil only. Or does it include industrial oil? Industrial oil, we can also call it 기름, but normally when you're talking about that black oil, we're calling it 석유. 석유, like 석유. So, yeah. But we normally call all types of oil 기름 in general, but we call it in different ways if you want to specify what you're actually talking about. So when you're trying to infer to the word industrial oil, as in like industrial oil, like the black oil that comes out from the ground, oil money. Now we're talking about 석유, 석유, 석유. Okay? Yeah. Okay. 밀가루, flour. 밀가루, flour. 밀가루, flour. This is a pretty basic noun once again, so I think everybody should know what's going on for this one. So, 밀가루, flour. No other translation, no other definition, no other substitution, just this. 밀가루 means flour. Okay? 밀가루, flour. Okay, let's go to the next one. 그릇, bowl. 그릇, 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 bowl. Bowl. Bring a bowl to mix your stuff. 그릇 좀 갖고 와. 좀 섞게. Bowl, bowl, 그릇. Did everybody get it right? Let's go to the next one. Okay, baking soda. Okay, baking soda is pretty easy. Like you can see how this works out. Baking soda, baking soda. This is pretty easy, right? Everybody can understand what's going on. So, baking soda. But when you're trying to talk it out, baking soda, just try to make it like a staccato way. Don't say like baking soda, soda. Or else like your Korean friends are gonna be like, ooh, yeah, you're fluent in English. I get it. That type of reaction, maybe. So when you're trying to like speak Korean English, then try to make it like into staccato. Baking soda. Baking soda. Okay? 다르다. 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 Different. This is different from this. So let's try to make A is different from B. Then we should say in Korean, A는 B하고 달라. 달라. 다르다. 달라. 다르다 is to say that it is different. And if you say 달라, 달라 also means it's different too. So, 다르다, 달라, same meaning, but it's the different grammar. You use it in different grammars. So, yeah. Next, 냉동. 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 Frozen. Frozen pineapples. Should we frozen apples maybe? Should we call it? Yeah. So we could say 냉동 사과. Or the ones we normally buy like frozen food from the market. Frozen seafood? Frozen shrimps? Yeah, we buy frozen shrimps a lot from the market, right? Yeah. For groceries. Yeah, we do. So we say 냉동 새우. So we have 냉동 in front for frozen things. Is that clear? Yeah. I think we should get to the next one. 추가하다. 추가하다. To add. To add. Oh, I forgot to put in to add. To add. Oh, I forgot to put in the vanilla beans. Oh, I should add it to the bowl. Then we say, 바닐라 빈을 추가해야 되겠다. 추가하다. 추가하다. To additionally add in. To additionally add in to the bowl. Yes. 반죽. 반죽. Mixture. Mixture. And normally we call it dough. So like dough. Dough. you know, dough. 반죽. But we also can call it mixture too. But normally when you're baking and you say like, oh, 반죽이 덜 익었어, then we call it like, oh, the dough is like, yeah, the dough is still not raw. Yeah, the dough is still raw. Yeah. But when you're calling 반죽 mixture, 반죽 can be used as mixture in different situations other than baking. So I think it's better to call it mixture, but you could also call it dough when you're doing bakery. Yeah, you're doing baking related stuff. Yeah. Okay, I think everybody understands. 주번 냉은 한자예요. 예를 들어 냉장고. Yeah, 냉. 냉 is like cold in 한자, like the Chinese characters. So we have 냉장고 and 냉면, 냉동고, 냉수, and yada yada yada. Goes on and on and on. So yes, it is a Chinese character. So maybe when there's something related like to coldness and then you hear the word 냉, then you can presume that, oh, something related to like being a cold. Yeah. Let's go to the next one. 준비, preparation. 준비, preparation. 준비하다, to prepare. And 준비 itself, preparation. Yeah. I think this is pretty simple. So can we go to the next one? 한 조각. One piece of something. One piece of something. 한 조각. One piece of something. So let's say, 한 조각 먹고 싶다. Normally we call 한 조각 as in like a piece of cake. Like, oh, I want to eat a piece of cake. Then we say, 케이크 한 조각 먹고 싶다. Like that. So, yeah. Normally if we say 한 조각, then we are referring to a cake. Does everybody get it? I think this was the last vocabulary for our vocabulary section for today. And now we're gonna get to decoding, in which everybody needs to look at the decoding section really thoroughly because we're gonna have a quiz in the end. So maybe try to understand what's going on, the meanings and also the vocabulary that actually came out from the section before, and just try to decode it by yourself and try to understand what's going on so that you can get your 3 questions for the quiz correct and then end this section in a very happy way. Okay, so let's go. 케이크 만들기, making cake. So this is pretty much the title for our whole cake making process, okay? 케이크 만들기, making cake. 맛있는 호박 케이크를 만들어요. Let's make a delicious pumpkin cake. So we have 호박, right? As we pointed out from the vocabulary section right before, 호박, pumpkin. 호박 케이크, pumpkin cake, right? 맛있는 호박 케이크를 만들어요. Let's make a delicious pumpkin cake. 먼저 오븐을 켜요. So we have oven. What does oven mean? Oven. Yes. 먼저 오븐을 켜요. First, turn on the oven. 호박을 오븐에 40분 동안 굽고 저어요. 호박을 오븐에 40분 동안 굽고 저어요. So we have 호박, 오븐 40분 굽고 저어요. A lot of vocabs that we learned just now from the vocab section. But what does it mean overall? We're saying 호박을 오븐에. So the pumpkin in the oven. 40분 동안. For how many minutes? 40 minutes. We have 분 over here, so it means 40 minutes. 굽고 저어요. 굽고 저어요. Bake it and also blend it, mix it, right? Bake pumpkin in the oven for 40 minutes and blend it. 호박을 오븐에 40분 동안 굽고 저어요. Did everybody get it well? Yes. Okay, just to look through the comments. Satyamjana? Hana? You said, am I in Instagram? But we're not on Instagram, but maybe we will one day. Who knows? We're only on Facebook and YouTube at the moment right now. So yes, thank you. And yeah, let's go through the reading section again. 호박을 오븐에 40분 동안 굽고 저어요. 40분, 40 minutes, and blend it. Bake pumpkin in the oven for 40 minutes and blend it. Yes. Next. 그러고 나서. We have a transition in the front, then. So, 그러고 나서, then 양념과 기름과 함께 5분 동안 끓여요. 양념과 기름과 함께 5분 동안 끓여요. Then boil it with spices and oil for 5 minutes. Then boil it with spices and oil for 5 minutes. Did I say 40 minutes? So if I did, I'm wrong. 5 minutes. 5분. Okay. 5분 and 5분. It's different, okay? So the pronunciation, you need to have it different. 5분, 5분. It's more of like 5분 and 5분. So it's different. 5분, 5분. 5분 is 5 minutes. Did everybody get it right? 그러고 나서 양념과 기름과 함께 5분 동안 끓여요. Then boil it. 끓여요. Boil it. We have the important verb here. Boil it with spices and oil for 5 minutes. Okay? Did everybody get it right? Can we go to the next one? Yes. 다음으로, another transition. 다음으로 그릇에 밀가루를 조금 넣어요. Next, put some flour into the bowl. In the bowl. 다음으로 그릇에 밀가루를 조금 넣어요. 다음으로 그릇에 밀가루를 조금 넣어요. Next, put some flour in the bowl. 밀가루를 베이킹소다와 소금과 섞어요. 밀가루, the flour, 베이킹소다와 소금과 baking soda and salt. So, mix the flour with baking soda and salt. 밀가루를 베이킹소다와 소금과 섞어요. Mix, 섞어요. Okay? 다른 그릇에 계란과 설탕을 조금 넣고 함께 섞어요. Put some eggs and sugar and mix them together in a different bowl. 다른 그릇에. in a different bowl. 계란과 설탕을 조금 넣고 함께 섞어요. Does everybody understand? Put some eggs and sugar. 계란과 설탕, eggs and sugar, and mix. 섞어요. Them together. 함께. In a different bowl. 다른 그릇에. So, overall, 다른 그릇에 계란과 설탕을 조금 넣고 함께 섞어요. Next. 이제 밀가루와 호박을 같은 그릇에 넣어요. Now, add the flour and pumpkin into the same bowl. 이제 밀가루와 호박을 같은 그릇에 넣어요. Okay? Now add the flour and the pumpkin to the same bowl. 모든 것을 함께 섞어요. 모든 것을 함께 섞어요. Mix everything together. Mix everything together. 모든 것을 everything 함께 together 섞어요. Mix. So everybody get it? Next. 원하면 약간의 냉동 과일을 추가해도 돼요. You can add some frozen fruits if you want. Okay? So, we have the vocab that we learned, 냉동, over here, right? 냉동 과일을 추가해도 돼요. If you want, you can add some frozen fruits if you want. You can add some frozen fruits if you want. 원하면 means if you want to, 약간의 냉동 과일을 추가해도 돼요. Okay? So one more time, slowly. 원하면 약간의 냉동 과일을 추가해도 돼요. Okay. Next. 이제 반죽이 준비됐어요. The mixture is now ready. 이제 반죽이 준비됐어요. The mixture is now ready. Okay? 반죽을 60분 동안 구우세요. We have another 분. How many minutes is it for this problem? 60분. 60 minutes. Bake it for 60 minutes. 반죽을 60분 동안 구우세요. 구우세요. 구우세요 means bake, right? As we learned from the vocabulary section. So, bake it for 60 minutes. 반죽을 60분 동안 구우세요. So the for would be 동안. So 60분 동안. For 60 minutes. Yes. Okay? Next. 보세요. 이제 케이크가 준비됐어요. 보세요. 이제 케이크가 준비됐어요. Look, the cake is now ready. Look, the cake is now ready. 보세요. Look. 이제 케이크가 the cake is now 준비됐어요. Ready. Ready. 차를 조금 만들고 make some tea and 한 조각을 가져다가 즐겨요. Take a piece and enjoy. 차를 조금 만들고 한 조각을 가져다가 즐겨요. Make some tea, take a piece, and enjoy. Over here, we should divide it into two sections. So, English section too. 차를 조금 만들고 make some tea, and then we have the latter part. 한 조각을 가져다가 즐겨요. Take a piece and enjoy. Yes. So, 차, tea, 한 조각, a piece. And then 즐겨요, enjoy. So, overall, make some tea, take a piece, and enjoy. 차를 조금 만들고 한 조각을 가져다가 즐겨요. I think everybody understood what was going on in the reading section as we decoded it. And before we get to the quiz, let's go through our Hangul writing worksheet once again. Just a quick reminder. If you want to get your free worksheets, you can just click the link in the description box below. So whenever you want to, just click it and get your free worksheets anytime, anywhere. Okay? Pretty helpful enough. So let's get into the quiz now. I think everybody understood what was going on in the reading section for the decoding because this reading was pretty easy compared to the one we did last week. So if everybody was able to get through the quiz for last week, I think you can do way better for this quiz because it's way easy. Way more easy. So let's look at the questions. 호박을 양념과 함께 얼마나 오래 끓여요? How long do you boil the pumpkin with spices for? Do you remember? Do you remember like what you read during the reading section? Does everybody remember? Okay, so we have A, 40, 40분, B, 5분, and C, 60분. Actually, I said B. Okay. Any other guesses? Any other guesses? Was it 40 minutes or was it 5 minutes or was it 60 minutes? Okay. 야사의 5분, 순이 40분. Oh, okay. Ashes of Death, B. Should we check the answers? I think everybody pretty got it well. Yes, the answer was B, 5분. Yes, 5분. 호박을 양념과 함께 얼마나 오래 끓여요? 5분 동안 끓여요. 5분 동안 끓여요. Yay. Everybody got it right. Kwati, you also got it right. Let's go through the next question. 계란을 무엇과 먼저 섞어요? 계란을 무엇과 먼저 섞어요? What do you first mix the eggs with? What do you first mix the eggs with? A. 설탕과 함께, with the sugar. B. 베이킹 소다와 함께, with the baking soda. And C. 호박과 함께, with the pumpkin. What do you first mix the eggs with? Do we have any guesses for this question? A? A? B? Or C? Does everybody know like the definition for each of the options? 설탕과 함께, with sugar. B. baking soda와 함께, with baking soda. 호박과 함께, with pumpkins. Okay, Akshay, Satyam, and Ashes of Death, Sumi, Kwati. Everybody said A, and the correct answer is also A. Everybody got it right. I think everybody's just rocking this quiz because it's too easy for you guys. I get it. Let's go through the last question. 케이크에 냉동 과일을 추가해야 해요. 맞을까요? 틀릴까요? So, you have to add frozen fruits to the cake. True or false? Think of it once again. Do you have to add frozen fruits into the cake? Do you have to or not? 맞아요? 틀려요? Let's guess. B. Actually, I said B. So you're saying no, 틀려요. It's false. Ashes of Death, B. Dwight, B. Any more guesses? 케이크에 냉동 과일을 추가해야 해요. 추가해야 해요. 사탐 B. 코아치 맞아? 수미 만약 당신이 좋아한다면. Yeah. So is it 추가해야 해요? So the answer was 틀려요. 틀려요. It's false. It's wrong. Okay, so we need to look at this part. 추가해야 해요. Like this part especially. 해야 해요. So this means like you need to. Like it's like a capital meaning. Like you need to. You need to add 냉동 과일, frozen fruits into the cake. It's like a must. So when you're asking, do you need to? No, it's not. It's not necessary. It's if you want to, you can, but it's not a need. So if it was 케이크에 냉동 과일을 추가해도 돼요, then it would have been 맞아요. But it was optional, so it's not necessary. 추가해야 해요? No. So it's wrong. Did everybody get it? So be careful for this kind of expressions and grammars for Korean because the meaning can get really different. Yeah. 해야 돼요 and 해야 해요 is pretty much the same thing. So, yeah. I think everybody got it right. Almost everybody. And now we're at the end of our Korean lesson for today. I think everybody got the making the cake reading pretty much correct. And it was pretty easy compared to the last lesson that we did last week. So I think everybody was pretty fine with today's lesson. And next week we're going to learn about sadness. Sadness in Korean in the same way. Like we're going to go through the comprehension section, vocabulary, and maybe go through the decoding once again. So, is everybody excited for next week? So, yes. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the course for today. And I hope to see you next week, today, on Thursday at the same time for today too. Bye everybody. 여러분 수고